Hello everybody and welcome to the event review for the upcoming event Night All Heroes. This will be the week of April the 12th, 2024. And we got ourselves a couple of rather interesting things this week. I mean, we knew about the new hero. This would be the new version of Luna. And Cosmic Enforcer Luna, we'll have to see how good she is, but that's not the real focus of this week's event. The basic Transcendence hero effects are all in place. You get your scrolls and gems, you've got your prayer hero. The summon event gives Penny, which Palace of Eternity, Palace of Crystal. But the real core of the event is, of course, the Star Store, where you get the good parts. And it's got a couple of interesting features. The most obvious one that we've seen before is the orange and pink treasure selection chests. It's not clear what exactly is in those chests. If I had to guess, I'd say probably 2024 event treasures, but it could be the non-event treasures. There's even an outside chance as the 2023 ones. If it's the 2024s, the Valentine's treasures are best for most people. 2023s, it'd be lovely if we could get more of those picture frames and video cameras, but we'll have to see exactly what's in there. The other part, though, is this guy, and that's the new power creep that's being added to the game. Basically, it's a way of upgrading your artifacts. The details of this are not really obvious at the moment. I've got a couple guesses that I'll get to in a minute, but the short version is this is likely to be the most interesting part of this event. And the nice part about it is you can get access to this without too much difficulty. You can buy this twice and this twice, and free to play you can get 300 of these. That's a big investment, but you can get up to 300. So you can get 2 of these free to play. And whales can only get 4. So for a brand new upgrade option, that's better access for free to play than I was expecting, frankly. They don't tend to be that generous. I was expecting them to be up here to start with. So yeah, we'll have to see how good those are. And obviously we'll have to see how good the new hero is and how good these treasure selection chests are. There's a lot about this event we're going to have to evaluate after it goes live. We don't have enough information at this point to say exactly how good it's going to be. So that'll be fun. But, I mean, in broad strokes, it's the same trans hero event we see every 2 months. You've got your Cloud Island stuff. This, since there hasn't been a Viking event in almost a year, this is the only way to get your Cloud Island skins, or you can get materials, or if you're a new player, you go for the 10-star. And obviously, if you max it out, there's a nice little bit of bonus here. A little bit less than most, and overall, the event gives a little bit less than most. If you max it out, you get 2 of these, 1 here, 2 here, and 3 here. So 10. Plus, if we go down to the Soul Awakening specific to Luna, remember, you only get these points if you awaken Luna copies, you get another artifact. So that's 11. And 11 top rewards for this event isn't as much as we often see. Standard big event these days gives 17, so 11 is rather low. And in order to max this all the way out, you need to spend $800. That's more expensive than most big events. So I would not advise going in too heavy on this one unless you're the sort of person who throws price of a new car at this game without blinking. If you want to go for these guys, I understand, but this is not worth maxing, as I say, unless you're a crazy high spender. So yeah, and as we go through, there is Azrael and Sia. The relay package, though, this one works out to be $97. And it contains 100 of the event currency. It's got a ton of cores. It's got a total of 77 cores, 30,000 Ormus Essence, and Prism Starries, Relics, Stellar, and Crystals. It's not a bad relay. And actually worth noting is if you stop here, that's only $27 to get to this point. That's enough essence for a splendid artifact, which might become more valuable in this, with this new power creep that's coming out. Plus you also get 27 of these guys through the relay, and a further 27 from the fact that you just spent $27. 54 of those, plus 50 for your 5-star heroes, and then do a few awakenings and a couple hundred scrolls, and you get your 130. Get one of these, for not a lot of investment, really. That, I think, might be a good choice. Like, overall, this event has a lot of interesting options for low spenders. It's weird, because normally when they bring out new power creep, it is aimed very much at the high spenders. Destiny materials weren't available to free to play for months. But in this one, it's very accessible, which leads me to think, cynically, it's probably not going to be that powerful. We'll have to see. But it's more available than I was expecting. And also there's the value packages. They have train tickets. That's about the only notable part of them. They're nothing special. And because the the event currency you get through VIP spending in general, you don't need to buy any specific thing. So it's your choice. In most cases, I wouldn't go for these value packs. Go for your Prism Starry gems. Go for things like that are more useful to you long term. I mean, for low spend, just top up your cards. And if we flip over to the Chinese spoilers, we get a little more info. And most of that info stuff I've already gone over. But every 10 scrolls is a point up to 200. Every dollar you spend is a point up to 800. Every 5-star hero is a point up to 50. Every awaken is 2 points, up to 50 total points. And the relay's got 100. Yeah, and you also get the free 5-star summons, which, hey, nice. My free-to-play accounts will appreciate that. And, I mean, I've got one free-to-play account that's Fortress only as a meme thing I did with my guild a while back. So I'm very curious what this new Fortress Transcendence hero is going to look like. That could really help that account out. But I digress. The things that are in here, yeah, this I think is probably the most interesting part of what we've got, is talking about these new chests. And it tells us we get time and space original weapons. Now, time and space is usually the fancy term for like high-end stuff. And the ultimate glorious artifact is presumably Splendids. So these guys have a selection of upgrade materials we can use to upgrade our Splendid artifacts, if I'm reading this right. That's an interesting mechanic. I'm very curious about this. And honestly, I made predictions a little like that about what the new power creep would be back in January, and I even got the time right within a couple of weeks, so I'm pretty proud about that. But basically, it looks like you'll get a choice of, to pick some mechanics out of that, add this to your Splendid artifact to increase attack, or to increase its HP or its energy, or things like that. Which should be an interesting way to revitalize artifacts. I mean, they used to be really the premium item you could get before Sublimation, before Chorus of Origin, before Treasure Train. And they've fallen off a bit. I mean, they're still good. They're still important to new players, but most vets have a million other things. So seeing a way to revitalize artifacts and make them more interesting to the game, I'm looking forward to it. There's always going to be a new power creep coming, and this one at least looks interesting. So we'll have to see how that goes. Also, the usual Transcendence fight, there will be people in the Discord who offer themselves up as fight partners, especially get you those 5 cores. Take advantage of that, get a fight in. Just any fight when they're on your friend list. And yeah, the prices on the relay are the other notable thing that the Chinese spoilers have and the English doesn't. So yeah, overall, it's not an event to whale on unless you are real King Whale. But it's not a bad event to spend a few bucks on. I think for low spenders for free to play, this is more generous than I would have expected generally. And I think it's going to be an interesting one. I really am looking forward to seeing what sort of stuff we get out of these, how these mechanics look in practice. And I've also thrown together a few numbers as well. And basically, again, this is stuff we've been over. This is how you get your points. This is how you can spend your points. And overall, you get a max of 11 top treasures. Now, normally, a big event these days is usually on the order of $400 to $500, like $350 to $550 depending, and you get usually about 17. So $800 for 11, not great. Like I said, this is not one to max out. I mean, it's better than last week if you're spending on either one, spend on the upcoming, but it's nothing special by itself. Really, this is why you care about this event, or if Luna winds up being really strong. But the relay is not bad. And as I was saying earlier, the new stuff more in the relay just here makes a lot of sense for people who are trying to get like one of the new item. Oh, or I mean, one sublimation chest, one core chest. Spend a little bit, get a little bit, I think is really how you should approach this week. This isn't one to max. Overall, I'm fairly happy with it. Assuming things work out reasonably, assuming things look the way they ought to, I'm fairly happy with it. But we'll have to see exactly what the future brings. And yeah, I'm sure it'll be fun to play it out. That's about all I've got for this week. Talk to you again next week with a review of that event. Until then, have a good time. Bye.